stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Happy Saturday. This won't be very long. Trying to get my shit together so I can go to the dentist. Not sure if I'm going to make it, though. I do have to say my nerves are a little frazzled. I don't really have a topic for this one. I'm going to be talking about, I don't know how long it's going to be, probably not very long. Yes, I'm drinking Coke right out of the bottle. It's the only thing that quenches my thirst in the morning. So, it's from the smoke. Need that fizz. Need that fizz. A lot of you probably noticed this week I've not been my normal self. And I've noticed that some people are mistaking my passion for anger. A little bit of unsolicited advice here and there. There's a way to present things. I've been taking it for what it is. It's just people trying to, Yeah, I remember I lost a very dear friend on Monday to nefarious reasons. And if you think I'm going to back off, if you think I'm going to stop, it's not going to happen. Okay? 2 people in a week. One person that I was very, very close to. And all I can think of is their children. It's all that's coming to my mind. This disease of alcoholism and addiction. I'm going to include addiction in this one because this person wasn't an alcoholic. They were an addict. All right. They might have used alcohol or whatever, but they were a straight up addict. Okay. And this disease is already hard enough without assholes interfering, trying to make money off of these people, body brokering them, utilizing the system and the backs of the broken to build their empire. And if you're okay with it, then don't listen to me anymore. I'm not doing this to buy friends. I'm not doing this to get attention. I'm doing it because I was called to do it. And if that's something people do not understand, it is not my problem. It's not. Somebody has got to stand up and say something. I very, do you think the hard conversations are here? No. Try going to a group of people and confronting them on what they are doing. Being the only fucking person in the room. Try it. If you think I'm going the wrong route, then go get a camera, go get a microphone, sit down and tell us what you think, man. Let us know what you think. Good morning, Claire. It's good to see you. Good morning, Heather. It's good to see you. I've seen a lot of bullshit in this world. I've seen a lot of violence. I've seen a lot of hurt. I work the front lines. There's not a day that goes by where I don't go to a meeting or somebody calls me who's just crying and begging to get out of the mire They can't do it anymore. And somebody's got to be there, man. Somebody who isn't going to take advantage of this person. Why do I fight it? Because, I went to detox for 2 years in a row begging for fucking help. And nobody helped me. So, yes, I rejoiced yesterday when I helped get somebody fired from a position they do not fucking belong in. They don't belong in it. This isn't AA, friends. This is me saving children. And if you have a problem with it, if you mistake it, it's not my problem. And thank you for listening, by the way. Okay. But I won't go for unsolicited advice and stuff. I won't go for that. People are not keeping in mind that I'm dealing with a death here. Several deaths in a row, man. And I've had enough. And it's from these resources out here. Now there's no money. There's no this. There's no and now they're all running around whining like little fucking bitches. 2 days ago, I went to the opioid meeting and I brought up different ways that they could do it. One of the recovery bullies spoke and they whined about how they were going to have to let a bunch of their employees go. Not one thought of the fucking client. Not one thought. Aside from the fact that they don't have employees. These people are independent contractors. Therefore, ergo, not employees. Independent contractor is different. Okay. You are not paying their taxes for them. You are not W-2ing them. Therefore, they are not employees. That is just the mindset of these people, making them think that they're bigger than they are. It's ego, pride. Look how high I can jump. Literally making songs about mushrooms while running an RCO. RCO means Recovery Center Organization, working with children. Now, the thing is, if you're utilizing mushrooms, if you are utilizing mushrooms in order to help your mental health and it is working, great, go for it. But to make a song out of it denotes addiction. That's what that means. And I'm pretty fucking serious about this. I take the program very seriously. I take recovery very seriously. I agree with you, Heather. The devil wants us dead. You know, alcohol is a spirit. A spirit, a demonic spirit in my eyes. That's my opinion. You can call it whatever you want. But in my eyes, if I'm going to believe in God the way that I'm going to believe in God, I got to believe in the devil too. And that, you know what? The devil works through his people. And these people are overcome by the devil. How? Money. Money. When they do help somebody, heck, these same people will go out and give somebody a sandwich living on the streets and then come back and brag on it. I'm sorry, but that's a Tuesday morning. I wouldn't even have time to do the daily trudge if I bragged about all the people I helped. We got to get beyond that. It isn't about, for me, it isn't about popularity. It isn't about buying your love or hoping I say something that makes you want to hang out with me. It's my actions. And I got a lot of stuff done this week. And I'm using fear. I'm using their own fear against them. See, they're already feeling the heat. Their backs are already against the wall. So all I really need to do is make a couple of moves, and then they're going to show their true selves. And then everybody can say Dion was right, and I'm not a person to say I told you so. I don't work that way. But I am right. I know I'm right. I know what I'm doing is correct. I've passed it by my therapist. I've passed it by my spiritual advisors. My wife knows what I'm doing. And if it means that I need to use a little bit of trickery to get these people removed, heck, that's something I used to do in halfway houses all the time. I was the protector. And I cannot stand bullies. I can't stand them. Well, maybe you got a resentment. This ain't resentment. This is justice. This is the courage to change the things that I can. And I have the power to change things right now. So I'm doing it. I'm going to tell you, it's fucking hard. My nerves are shot. I'm not working on it this weekend. I'm going to give myself the weekend off. All right. So you might see less daily trudges this weekend because I kind of take care of Dion. I understand that. And it isn't that I don't appreciate people with their concern for me, but the way some of these things have been written, it sounded more like a judgment to me. But there again, it's really hard for me to take things the right way when it comes to texting. I know that these people do actually care. And what they do is they care about what Dion is going through. But you don't need to worry about me. I know what I'm doing. Kinda. Remember, this is new for me too. Kinda. This isn't the first bully I've taken down of this size. No. Last bully I took down was electronic payment systems. $7 million in federal court. Fraud case. I know fraud very, 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 very well. I know contracts very, very well. You see, I've done a lot of things in my life, and all of them have led up to this moment in time. I was talking to Pastor Marcia about this. Every time I try and walk away from this, something lands in my lap directly from God. And I'm going to tell you the thing I'm pissed the most about. Because don't get me wrong, I'm pissed about some things, but I'm directing my anger towards the right way. That I didn't do this 2 months ago while she was still alive. I have some shame. I have a little bit of guilt going on with it. I know it's not my fault. But I can't continue. I'm the kind of person, I'm the kind of person where I will teach somebody a lesson, not educate them, but I will teach them a lesson so they don't do it to the next person. I'll make what they did to me so uncomfortable that when they go to do it to the next person, they're going to remember what I did to them and they're going to think, no, I don't want that consequence again, so I ain't going to do it. I don't always like using my criminal mind because, like everybody else, every other alcoholic, I'm an extremist. So I got to be very careful on what I do. And I made a couple of mistakes this week. I did. I made a few mistakes. I noticed them and I corrected them. See, there's a fine line to walk. Okay? I can't spread rumors. That I cannot do. I can't do that. Right? And what would be a rumor, even though it was fact and it did happen, it's still a rumor. A rumor is not always untrue. Okay? I was talking to the commissioner yesterday, and we were talking about a particular person. I'm like, they committed Medicaid fraud. What? That person? Yes. They were listed on the Medicaid fraud list. Absolutely. Right. So now, because there was one person that there was something I agreed with. I do need to find a balance in all of this. I cannot go headlong at it, every single day. And I did every single day last week, but I got a lot done. A lot of things were taken care of. So that means this weekend I need to take care of me, right? Wouldn't be any different from any other job. So I'm gonna fully said I was on a roll, Heather, so I didn't post what you said. Give me a sec. All right. Thank you for letting me do that. So Heather said you are definitely standing on the front line, and as I shared the other day, you will be met with spiritual opposition. Yes, I will. The devil is a liar, and he wants all of us either dead or serving him. I would not disagree with that. I would not disagree with it. No, it's funny that you bring that up because my wife tells me that often. Where, um, you know, she said it just seems like every time things really get going for you, something comes along and it's the devil, and devil wants your ass, man. I'm good at what I do. Of course, he wants me. The more the more God asks me to do, the more the devil comes after me. But he don't scare me either. You know, he and how is he doing that right now? Naysayers. Naysayers. People that come along and try and put me, oh, well, you can't do that. That's not what, you know, all my life I've been, even growing up, I was called stupid. I was called, at one point, because I spoke weird, I was diagnosed as being retarded and they put me in the class, that was 70s for you. And so I wasn't in the regular class for a little while. And then it turned out I just had a speech impediment. I'm not stupid. I think lazy probably would have been the word. I didn't want to do it. You know, I'd be in school and they would explain something and then everybody had to ask questions because they didn't understand it and I understood it and I got bored and then I got frustrated because none of these people hung out with me. Why should I give them and why am I being forced to hold time aside for them when they're pushing me around on the playground? That was my thought process even when I was young. When I was in 5th grade, I used to sit there and dream about how I was going to kill my classmates. That is the kind of person I have always been. I don't know why. It has always separated me. I've never seen this world the same way that a lot of other people do. I've never had a lot of money to be able to spend on things, never been out of the country. I'm treated like a fucking criminal. It bothers me sometimes. So I'm not going to stop. I may have to take a different direction, but let me tell you some of the things that got done this week. Good morning, Amber. It's good to see you. I removed several players from the playing field. For the last 4 years, what I've been working on is making relationships with the right people so that if Dion said this person needs to go, that person is gone. And that's the point I'm at right now. And now that all the money's gone, it lies in my lap. Now, here's where humility is required. That's where um that's where that's where humility needs to be a part of what I do. Or I will start demanding things. And we know how that goes. We know how that goes. Clara says, I am part of the uninvited club. Or the not invited. How did you get to this party? Well, I saw it going on. Well, you weren't invited. I get that a lot in the recovery field. Well, guess what? Now they're uninvited. Actually, I won't work that way. I won't do it that way. Remember we talked about that humility? Right? Can't fight fire with fire. Can't do it that way. No, they are absolutely welcome to join in. They certainly can, provided they've made some changes. They're going to have to get on board with what we're doing. We have a lot of people in the industry that are barely scraping by because they have jobs that they really love helping people. Somebody out of the blue, my friend, you saw her yesterday here. My friend Lori popped out of the blue. We haven't talked in months. We haven't talked because I was shutting down my Facebook, so she removed me and stuff like but that didn't mean we weren't friends. And she just called me out of the blue while this was going on. That is not coincidence. That is God saying, Dion, you're in the right direction. This is a service that you need to utilize. So now what have I done? Well, I brought on another person to help us with it. Yes, I've been talking about all the bullshit going on, but if you think I haven't been proactive, oh, I have been. Who else here can go to the detoxes, walk in and say, these are the resources you're going to use now? If you can do that, great. Go do it, man. Help me out. Okay. I don't need the credit for it. I don't need it. It's not required. I have a lot of people in my life that love me, that love what I do. Okay. And I know that I'm an odd duck. I know I am. Then, like I was saying earlier, everything that I have gone through has given me the courage to do what I'm doing. Okay? When I spoke in that meeting and everybody was there, actually, one guy did show up. I'm not going to say, I don't know if they want their name out there, but he runs one of the places that I support, and I appreciated him being there. I was cool of him. He was checking it out, see what was going on. Okay, I was really nervous talking. I also found out that I was wrong about the council, and that was nice. See, there were a couple things I was wrong about this week that I brought up. Sure. But just like when I was talking to the county commissioner, I said if we don't ask hard questions, then we're never going to know, and we will just continue assuming. And we can't do that. Wasn't long before she was telling me, hey, yeah, Dion, this is where you can help me. You can help me in prevention, the recovery homes, peers, and treatment. And yes, I can. She said, what we really need is peers, and we're using this location for a couple of them. And I said, that's the person that I showed up to make nervous, and she commits Medicaid fraud. I'd be more than happy. I said, if we run into each other or whatever, I don't care. That's fine. But I'll ask you a question. Would you guys be open-minded to doing telehealth? Because all my peers are up here. And she's like, oh, yeah, absolutely. Problem solved. right? The reason I got on board with her is because she said, we want our peer support to be COPA certified. And that made me happy. See, a recovery coach only requires 60 hours of education to get your certification. I said, and they do it in a week. It's not possible, by the way. COPA, 500 hours. Actually, I think it might be 600 hours. Oh, Facebook wasn't working that great. Oh, well, I'm glad you're back, Patricia. It's good to see you. It's hard to work through all these things. Before that, I had a meeting and I had to act like I knew what they were talking about, kind of. Well, it's called the ASAM criteria. And this is the criteria that detoxes need to follow. And by the middle of next year, right now, most detox is what's called 3.2, which is clinically managed. Okay. That just means that we keep them safe. Once a person blows zeros or they're safe or their BP is fine, you get rid of them. There's nothing else. There's no resources. There's no real anything going on. And we're moving to what's called medically managed. And what that means is that there will be a doctor on site. And I think it's a fantastic idea. This person can prescribe things that these people need, because one of the barriers that I have right now is the these clients that are or these people. I don't have clients. These people that are in detox that need to go to treatment, but they can't because they don't have their bipolar meds. That's what we're talking about. It is another blockade to treatment, and we need to remove it. There are too many blockades to recovery in Colorado. And you know how many there should be? None. None. Zero. Zero. And until it's there, I'm not going to stop. I won't quit. All right. Without getting into, I don't even know where I was going with that. I'm going to start repeating myself if I keep going forward on this one. Here's some good news. Number one, we got 2 new detoxes coming up. East Metro Detox is moving in 9 months to a very big facility, a nice facility, one that isn't an army barracks. Right? It was, and then I might be able to help out a little bit more. I couldn't work at the other location. And I'll tell you why. There is a place before, it's an acute crisis center. Right? It's called Comitas Crisis Center. It was the place that my parents put me when I was 14. And I go to work there, and all I did was relive the moment over and over and over again. It was a huge trigger for my PTSD. I tried to work through it. I could not. Even the last time I went there and did the tour and stuff, man, was I sweating. And because I remember, so, when I was talking to her name is Kathy. She's the assistant to the executive director and of Aurora Mental Health, and they want things changed too. Well, I told her the thing is if we do not change these resources, then what we're going to do is get the same result. But nobody that works there has taken their time to get resources. The way that your resource works right now is whoever stopped by with donuts the last because you remember them. And we are not going that route anymore. You've got to be responsible for your resources. You have to at least feel responsible. See, I cannot use a resource if I have to go bed at night and wonder if that person is okay. Because I feel like that's on me. Especially if I'm making money off of it. Especially then. Right? Well, we're working with that detox stuff, but my friend had called me before and, they have a detox that is already medically managed. So in 9 months, this new East Metro detox will be medically managed. That means that there's going to be a doctor on site. That means that we can do more with these people. But I am urging them, okay, that their number one resource is Alcoholics Anonymous. It's the only free resource with a hotline. If Smart Recovery, if Celebrate Recovery, if Dharma, if Wellbriety, if these other ones had a hotline, I would add them to the list. AA is not the only way. It's my preferred way, but it certainly is not the only way to get and stay sober and create lasting change. Okay. But I will not put my head in the sand. I will not sit on my hands. I will not sit there and do nothing while people are abused in this industry. I won't. The consequence of inaction is the worst consequence. I might as well just go ahead and give my soul to somebody else. Because that's what it's going to affect. It'll hurt me bad. Going to bed every night that I could have done something. That because I didn't speak up, that more people are going to die. And I'm not doing all of this to make friends. I'm not doing all this so that people will like or love me or anything else. I'm doing it because it needs to be done. But for the love of God, stop mistaking my passion for anger. Am I angry? Yes, I'm angry. Yeah, I'm angry. It's part of the process of death. But I'm not taking it out on anybody. I'm using that anger to give me the energy I need to get this shit done. And it seems to be working so far. A lot of stuff was accomplished this week. Yeah. The recovery bullies know that I'm back on the table. They know it. And they fear me. And they should. If you're doing something wrong in this industry and thinking that you can do whatever the fuck you want to, then yes, you should fear me. I was trying to, there's a guy that, and I'm not going to bring up any names because I don't, there's a friend of mine and he and I are going to talk this weekend. And he's in an unfortunate position where people around him are doing nefarious things, but he's on track, right? And the company that he works for owns 3 companies. One of them is an apartment building where we help out homeless alcoholics. I don't know. When is the grandkids party, Amber? I'm not talking about that right now. And, they were supposed to give me a tour. And I knew for a fact that I was not going to get a call back. I knew it. What does that tell you? It tells you they're doing something that they don't want me to see. It's exactly what it means. It means that they are doing stuff that they should not be doing, and they know it. But if somebody like me is around, they're going to get found out. That's my reputation. It's a reputation that I got to say sometimes goes to my head. And I got to be careful about it. I do. All right. Well, this was not your usual daily trudge. I am not going to the dentist. I can't. I already had a lot of nerve-wracking stuff this week, and I can't do it. And I'll get through it. I am, however, going over to a friend's house for a birthday bash and for a band practice. So I am getting out of the house. I am doing something. I'm not just going to isolate, and now I'm going to go and that's something new for me. Something new for me. So, but thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. I'm sure I'll be doing another trudge at some point this morning. Or maybe. Heck, I could do it before the 10 o'clock meeting. But I figure here is one thing that I probably do need to apologize for is I know that a lot of stuff that I've been going through this week has seeped into the daily trudge. So I decided I would probably do this and kind of get it off my chest, and I will do my best. I will do my best to make sure it doesn't seep into them and keep these things in different arenas. So I do appreciate everybody being here for me this week. Um, and the support that I get. I really do appreciate it. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And